All right, welcome everybody to the next NASA Globe ENSO Student Research Campaigns for Phase 3 Water and Our Environment. This is a short observation data analysis, also known as SODA webinar, and we are coming to you live from Puerto Rico, and we will have two presentations that focus on basically water quality, drinking water quality, and bacteria levels following the devastation that Hurricane Maria brought to Puerto Rico. So first, we're going to have evaluating bacteria levels in filtered water after Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico by Team Waterbenders, and that's Elisa Torres-Yeckley, Giovannisca Gonzalez, and Maria Jimenez, and the teacher is Richard Rutger. And following that, we'll have Team Aquarico. No, I said it wrong. Aquarico. Improving the drinking water quality after Hurricane Maria using natural resources. And that's Bria Rutger, Kelly Aponte, and Annalise Guzman, and a teacher, Ingrid Rapaz-Rutger. And we're going to have some really great presentations here, but after a very terrible event that happened with Hurricane Maria, which was just devastating. I know everybody saw that on the news. So also please note that this is being recorded, and anybody who watches this after the fact, this will be the recording of today's webinar, and it will be viewed by folks from all over the world. So we're super excited to see all this happening and seeing this great research. And this is such important research using the GLOBE protocols to take these measurements after Hurricane Maria basically, wipe out a lot of Puerto Rico. And I know I was keeping up to date with Richard Rutger about, what was happening as far as, some efforts and, their Wi-Fi issues and all that, and just lots of terrible stuff. So it's great to see that this really important research that you students are doing is really helping out and, making people aware of, what a storm like this can do, how it can affect many things, from the environment, socioeconomic ramifications, so lots of things. So I'm going to stop my share and I will pass it over to Richard to introduce the students and what's going to go on from here.
Very good. Well, welcome everybody to Manilos. We're on Napoleon, Puerto Rico, rainy school, northwest tip of the island. After the devastation, we decided that we would water quality testing, and I'll tell you, the girls will tell you more about that. We have Rishka and Ellie and Marie that basically got some donated water filters that we passed around, and we tested the bacterial levels on them for untreated and treated water, and go into the details. But I'm very proud of what they've done, and the collaboration that they've done with the other groups, and also ongoing collaborations with the schools in Nigeria. We'll talk more about that later. So without further ado, the water vendors. This is the presentation going. Yeah. I need a share screen. All right, and then so Brian, can they you see the screen okay?
We don't see anything on the screen.
All right, well, let me escape and try it again. Oh, share screen. Do I have to? Okay.
There you go. Yep.
All right, very good. It's the first time doing this. So.
Yeah, it's all good.
Hola, we're the water vendors. My name is Elisa. I'm Giovanni Jimenez. We're all a group of high school students, as I said, from Rincon School, which is located in Puerto Rico.
Next, okay, thank you.
Can you talk just a little louder, please?
Okay, so Puerto Rico is a tropical island, and we are near the equator. We have normally warm weather, and we get an average of 61 inches of rain a year.
Okay, you're going to talk about the biomes?
Okay, so we have diverse ecological biomes, including rainforests, deserts, coastal plains, and mountains.
You ready?
Okay, so on September 28, 2017, Hurricane Maria, a Category 5 hurricane, hit us and left the island without any services, including water and power. And the image on the left shows Puerto Rico before Hurricane Maria, and a satellite image showing it after, which you can't really see because it was left without power. So after the hurricane, people didn't have accessible clean water, so we were getting water from rain, wells, springs, and rivers. And so when we did get the tap water again, we weren't sure that it was clean. So this is what led us to our questions. So this led to our main focus point, which is how can we ensure that the water being filtered was safe enough for consumption, and how we did this was we got 2 samples, one from our school sink and one from the irrigation canal, and we tested the bacteria inside the water. So due to the fact that Globe had no bacterial level testing protocols, we partnered with the Rincon Surfrider Foundation, which is a non-profit organization in Rincon, which is 40 minutes away from our school. And basically we took buckets like these, and they each had filters inside of them, as you can see it in this one here. And this is the opposite along. So we put water inside them, and we filtered out 100 milliliters of water. And in these 100 milliliters of water, we put them in sample bags. And in these bags, we placed the reagents, which basically only allowed the one bacteria that we wanted to surpass. The enterolert, which is this one, is the one that only allows the enterococci bacteria, which is the fecal matter of the water. And the collular is the E. coli and the protocollular. These are samples of, this one is a sample of Rincon.
We can't really see.
Okay. So this is a sample of enterolert and enterolert, which is the enterococci bacteria, and this is the E. coli and protocollular. So basically, the E. coli would only show in the yellow, and the iridescent is shown in the bottom right image. And the enterolert would only surpass and iridescent under a black light. These were, all of them were positive for enterococci. So, the problem wasn't really whether we had a lack of water or quality issues. It was both. We had water, but it wasn't drinkable. It wasn't clean. We couldn't ensure that what we were consuming wasn't going to affect us. And so that's when we decided to check the bacterial levels. And we were supposed to have no coliform, no bacterial E. coli, and no enterococci, so that it would be safe enough to consume. So this is where we acquired our irrigation water. It's in the Guajataca. So the donated filters were all, change
Talk about this slide at the bottom left, bottom right. That's the spillway that's almost removed because of the damage. See, this is a spill. This is a spillway, and how much erosion because of the rainfall. We almost lost the whole reservoir.
And the reservoir after the hurricane, it almost broke. It had a crack in the wall, and it like we were left without water during certain periods of time because every construction workers had to go over there and repair the damage.
Ready?
So these are filters donated by companies like water filters for Puerto Rico, and they're all here on the floor, as the image I showed you earlier, and all of them are shown there. So the Surfrider Rincon Foundation is a nonprofit community-based volunteer group, and their mission is to protect coastal regions of the island. And we partnered with them because they usually do these tests for saltwater, but after the hurricane, they turned to freshwater to also ensure that it was potable milk. So, we didn't really have any water quality protocols, but we decided that we would test the probes, including the dissolved oxygen, conductivity, ORP, and pH in the water. So these are our results. Okay, so we conducted 2 different tests. The first one was on February 1st, and that one we did on the Rincon Surfrider Foundation lab. So we, as you can see, the unfiltered irrigation water had really high levels of bacteria. Once we filtered it, they were mostly eliminated. And the filtered water from the tap water, it barely had any bacteria.
Ready for the next one?
No. Wait, forget that. There's the one on the right. The right graph shows that it's the unfiltered tap water, which it had good levels of bacteria because it was almost close to none.
Yeah. This the unfiltered.
And the unfiltered water, due to the fact that it hadn't been filtered and it was from the rainwater, it was alarmingly high. So then we conducted a second trial on February 26th, and that one we did at our school. And as you can see, the unfiltered irrigation water was still really high in bacteria, but the enterococci and E. coli bacteria levels went down. When we filtered the water again, most of the bacteria was eliminated. And then our unfiltered tap water resulted to have no bacteria at all. And when we filtered it, well, of course, we didn't have bacteria except one of the filters, which proved to have some bacteria, and we think that is because of cross-contact contamination. So these are our story. They were timed, and so basically we timed how many seconds or minutes it took for the 100 milliliter water to collect the water. And the Sawyer filter only took 7 seconds to fill up the 100 milliliters, and the cylinder took 13 minutes, which was really long. And the long took about 2 minutes, and the short officer filter also took about 4 minutes.
So we got everybody, and I said, the one kid I'll keep like 10 minutes. 7 minutes. Just make it come here, interrupt this routine.
Led to our conclusion.
Yeah.
We concluded that the filters that proved the most effective were the Sawyer and the officer law due to their fast delivery
Right?
and their ability to eliminate bacteria. So any small spikes could have been contact contamination, like a hand touching the water or a dirty glove. So in the future, our team hopes to expand our research to help the individuals on this island. So towards the end of our project, we began collaborating with Nigerian schools because we had been on a webinar during like the mid-March, the 26th of March or so. And so they had stated that only like 70% of the population didn't have access to safe drinking water. We took this opportunity to contact water filters for Puerto Rico, and we hope that, and they also hope that they can expand their resources and filters elsewhere.
Yeah, I'd like to speak about that. The Sheila serves and Michael serves both live in Aguadilla, and when they moved back before the storm, but when they heard about the storm, they started a nonprofit or just a donation group, and that's Water Filters for Puerto Rico, handed out 3,000 water filters, and for the community, some of our teachers at our school were part of that process. The websites they have are on the board, but it's gotten a little bit larger. And so they went to a nonprofit, which is called ChristopherZone.org, and they needed that in order to ship or try to get supplies to international areas. So they want to move out of Puerto Rico. They continue to support Puerto Rico, but they also want to move elsewhere. So we got in contact with the two Nigerian schools, Dr. King and Finney, and they were going to do a conference call with Water Filters for Puerto Rico folks, and that's an ongoing event going on. Okay.
So these are our resources of the foundation, Surfrider Foundation, and Rincon, the Water Filters for Puerto Rico, the Lake for Water. Those are the people that donated the soda filter, and the Costa Salud Community Health Center, which is the first year we conducted our visit. And then we have the ENSO and Polywood Producer Research Site, which is where we got these behaviors from. Yeah, that's it. That concludes the presentation.
Yeah. This is a poster that they presented at the Students Research Symposium in the Southeast, and they represented Puerto Rico and got recognized for excellent research and a blue medal and plus, and they're so excited that they're going to sponsor their way to GLE in Ireland, and hopefully present here in July. This concludes the water vendors, but I'd also like to introduce the Senior Graphics Director, and we'll switch out teams right now. But in the process, while we were doing our research, we found out they were doing something slightly different. They were building their own water filters, and we worked with them on the bacterial testing and also some of the program. And they've done an outstanding job, and we'll tell you more about that in the future. So I'm going to switch screens and.
Could you send me a copy of that poster when you get a chance?
Yes, we'll do.
And also the presentations after the webinar. But yeah, definitely that poster. That's a really great poster.
Okay. So let me escape. Let's see here. Stop sharing. Okay, let's see here. Now let me go back to sharing and okay.
Looks good.
You want to do the picture? Okay. All right. Well, listen. Thanks to the Puerto Rico.
Hello, can you see us?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, good. So this is the middle school team of Puerto Rico. These are 8th graders. And we all, as a And what was particularly interesting was afterwards, nobody on the island had access to clean potable water. There was a moment there where we all questioned where our water would come from, and if we did have access to water, whether it would be potable. Then after that, we realized we would be getting some water filters shipped in, but of course there was a delay with the lack of communication and the lack of power. The resources were not able to get to the island until 2 weeks after. So this posed a big question, even before we started about investigating into the research, but it posed a question of how can we filter our own resources, our own water using natural resources that we can find right here. So that's where the team dove in. They started the school year, we started without electricity or power, or really any resources. Usually when we research, we get the internet and we go to the libraries. Unfortunately, the libraries were flooded, so we lost those resources and the internet was out. So we had to resort to the old-fashioned interviews and talking to people. And we went into mountains and talked to people who were in need. We had definitely a feel that something had to be done and something had to be made that was simple using natural resources. So we were very lucky to team up with Mr. Recker and the 9th graders, doing an amazing job testing the water, and we thought, wow, we can collaborate with you guys, test the water, and then maybe test our product, let's see how it compares with the 4 water systems that were already being tested in the community. So it's been a wonderful project. They're going really deep into testing the water filters that are accessible commercially. We're trying to create something out of natural resources, and we hope all of us, the 2 teams, we can collaborate so that we can give a product internationally that can be used, especially during or after the aftermath of the disaster. So I have my 8th grade team here. I have Kaylee Wonke, I have Maria Rector, and Janelle Guzman, and I will let them begin. Thank you.
Bienvenidos. Welcome. My name is Kaylee Wonke, Janelle Guzman, and Maria Rector, and we are Guajataca. We think of the common questions for consent. What would be like not knowing that the water you're drinking is clean? What would it be like to be stranded on an island with no resources or communication with the outside world? These think of these common questions for consent. Our team identified the issue of water contamination during the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. A particular survey showed 83% of the students at Rincon had running water, though most of the water was contaminated with lack of electricity. These victims were charged with desperate measures. They included drinking water from hazardous upstream sources of the river Rincon. This led to spread bacterial diseases such as leptospirosis, which can be common in many water sources. All of our team members experienced the struggle getting reliable potable water. Based on these events, their team prepared to take on and we were motivated to investigate a possible solution to help our local. Water contamination is not a new issue in Puerto Rico. Even before the hurricane, the island was referred to having the most contaminated water in the United States. In 2015, 70% of Puerto Rico's population received water provided in federal hospitals. Water contamination is a critical issue that many Puerto Ricans have, especially after Hurricane Maria. After identifying this issue, our team developed a science-based tool. How can we prevent bacterial diseases and water contamination during the aftermath of Hurricane Maria? After creating our quantitative and influences observations and predictions to produce hypothesis trees, we filter contaminated water using a modified solar water distiller and secondary filtration system, and the alpha water quality will be purified and safe for consumption. Our team researched our topic for websites, articles, interviews, books, and presentations. The subject matter includes Tom Cosmo, a biologist and conservationist who works for the institute. Science and computer teachers at Rincon School. Marie Rivera, a marine biologist who also works for the David Zachary, civil engineer, and Steve Tamar, a biologist. Our team also researched topics that had to do with water contamination before the storm, the types of diseases carried through contaminated water, the Guajataca Reservoir. Research was brought to Rincon and the Rincon and local natural resources found around the island. Our team constructed tribute memorials of the natural resources that were accessible to residents of Puerto Rico, such as coal, charcoal, coconut husk, and sand. We also implemented materials that were common in everyday households, such as 5-gallon buckets, PVC pipes, copper tubing, coffee filters, and screws. After accepting our various surfaces, we ran water to the device and samples for equal water, ensure profile, follow form, dissolved oxygen, conductivity, pH, and temperature. We then studied the EPA levels for safe drinking water to set a criteria for the results of the water test. The results of our first test included letting tap water and irrigation water through a device, which resulted in high levels of enterococci, E. coli, and cholera bacteria. Our second group included sterilizing all of our filtration materials and transferring them to 1 5-gallon bucket. The results showed that we managed to reduce our E. coli and coliform levels to zero, but still increased some enterococci bacteria. Our pedals was connected by reported filters according to the table of the sand test and regular levels. After analyzing the data, we discovered that the sand class directly from the filter performed better than the other prototypes tested. It reduced all contaminants to zero, proving that it could be used effectively to filter contaminated water. We displayed our data through tracking the flow control on a scatter plot to show how effectively our devices for E. coli and enterococci and coliform bacteria. The following graph compares data to this and the different filters tested for E. coli and enterococci and coliform levels. This reports the sand class and regular filters all contaminated. According to results, not only did we manage to prove each device of each child, we were also able to succeed in eliminating all E. coli, enterococci, and coliform bacteria from most city irrigation water samples. This means that we reached the goal of proving our hypothesis of developing an effective filtration and decontamination device using natural resources. We later tested all information into a website using WordPress.com in both English and Spanish. I'm hoping you can walk through using easy access to the website and learn how to assemble or operate the website. Simply by empowering people to build their own website, operators could possibly reduce the amount of deaths or illnesses resulting from the consumption of contaminated water. Because resources used to construct your device are widely available throughout the island, production and distribution of it will be more reliable than other. In the future, we would like to modify our filtration device by applying the frequency survey within it. We would also like to modify the displacement section of our filter to verify that it can be effectively filter contaminated water. In addition, we would like to educate our community to construct our devices we use for our website. If you would like to learn more about our team and our website, please visit aguadicofilter.wordpress.com. Gracias. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Anything else? Sorry, you were about to say something. Okay, so I see there's a couple questions for both teams. Is there a way to bring both teams up?
They're coming.
So the first question comes from Jennifer Hammond. He says, beyond the initial tests, will both teams continue monitoring water resources around Puerto Rico? I can go to anybody.
The limiting factor is the cost of the bacterial test. Each reagent is about $10 a pop. And when we are doing the 4 filters, those very filtered and unfiltered, it was like 10 tests each time, plus the Puerto Rico filter, a couple more. So that was just for the reagents. Plus they need the packs to put them in, and so we were lucky because the Surfrider Foundation got money donated to them, and they were able to purchase the freshwater testing and
Sure.
Along with the saltwater reagents. So that helped. If there's funds available, we will continue to do that. I know Raymond School, they are doing the ongoing saltwater test of the local beaches weekly, and they are supplied with the yeah. And eventually, I don't know how long the freshwater is going to test will continue, but right after the storm, the first week or so, everybody was in shock. There was nothing being tested. There was no communication, no lights, no water, no gas, no food, and you're just kind of going day by day. So it was after we got out of the fog, then people realized that whatever we had stored was running out, and it's time to get into action. So we have a month away before hurricane season starts, and I got that funny feeling we'll be going through it again. So people have a different outlook on what you take for granted. So Yeah, hopefully, if funds is available, we'll continue to test periodically the water. I think Aqueducto, our local water supplier, they're doing the monthly tests, but again, you can smell the chlorine levels in the tap water, which means they're being well supplied and putting it in there, but that's another issue about, we need to think about, still need to filter out that excess chlorine and whatever compounds come with it. So, next question.
Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, funding is always an issue. Yeah, for sure.
We were wondering about, will Globe ever include bacterial testing in their protocol?
Say that one more time.
Will Globe ever introduce bacterial testing in their protocols?
I hope they do. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. I'm trying to think who. I don't know if have you tried to write to anybody about that, to Globe, about?
We not right off the bat. We had talked to the people from the freshwater water Puerto Rico, and the husband is the one who had the technological background. He was telling me why they chose the aquatic filters for our situation and what they do, and but he said they do a variety of tests, but they have an analytical lab that they test the filters with, which we don't have access to.
Yeah.
So that's something that maybe as these girls go off to college and get their degrees in chemistry, and they can learn all those analytical techniques to improve, really heavy-duty water quality testing. So at our level, right, the bacterial test is something that was pretty easy. But I think for schools to do, if they can get the funding to do it periodically, that's something we should consider below.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a question I have. I put it in the chat. It's for Team Waterbenders. So, I saw when you presented the numbers on the coliform levels in the, I guess it was the unfiltered reservoir waters, and it was alarmingly high. So did you hear of any reports or anything about other bodies of water in Puerto Rico that had those type of levels? Those, I don't know if it was reported on by anybody or, through any local agencies, or did you hear anything that would correlate to the data that you took?
We did not hear from any agencies, but we only tested from one irrigation site, which was the Guajataca Reservoir, but we didn't get any, we didn't hear from any other agency regarding the coliform levels.
Are you planning on taking any of that information that you got to a higher level?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I mean, at that time, everybody was on their own. There was not much, the government was overwhelmed. The communities were basically helping each other out.
Yeah.
One thing about, at least in the mountains, there were some natural springs, but even those were disturbed by the mudslides and the flow.
Yeah.
So there was a period that we weren't sure if it was safe or not. So, yeah, there was no communication from Aqueducto, the water authority. For the first month or so, there was very limited or no cell phone at all coverage. And it wasn't for after a month, and then a few different carriers started coming up. So we were basically on their own.
Wow. And I have another question for Team Aqua Rico. So I was seriously impressed that the filter that you used, the husk, sand, and charcoal, it eliminated all the bacteria. Yeah, wow, that's pretty amazing stuff. Yeah. That's cool. That sounds something like you'd find in the movie Castaway, if you've ever seen that with Tom Hanks, where he has to try to get the water as pure as possible. But yeah, it's something like that. Wow, that's amazing stuff. Does anybody else have any questions who are on the webinar? We'll pause for a couple seconds. Here's one question from Marley for both teams. As people prepare for the new hurricane season, what would you recommend families to have at hand in their homes?
A lot of safe water. Like, you probably want to have buckets of water in case it goes out before, and like our water wasn't returned till like 2 months after the storm, and some people nowadays still don't have water.
It's unfortunate there when we went up to the mountains, you know, up in Guajataca, and a lot of the roads going up to the mountains were washed out. So these families still do not have proper drinking water or electricity. It's a serious issue. But we've had a lot of groups who have been able to create water filters. The requirement is give us a bucket, we'll give you a filter. And we've been able to provide drinking water. But another thing too is many people aren't aware that the drinking water is not potable, and they're drinking it, and we're getting sick. But that was another issue too. Our hospitals were shut down during this time. Our main hospital in Guajataca did not have electricity, so the airports had to put up a temporary hospital. So many people that ended up getting hydrated or had bacterial issues in the intestines, they just did not do well at all. So it was one crisis.
Yeah, I think the most important thing we all learned, I mean, electricity going 3 months or more without electricity, you kind of get used to that after a while, but not being able to flush your toilet or take a shower, yeah, it's really tiresome. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, eventually the planes were coming in with pallets of hauling water, but you know, after a while it's like all we're getting is water, and we have tons of plastic going around. So that wasn't the best solution around. But people are getting ready. They're basically fixing what damage they do have to their houses. Supplies are eventually coming in, so we're able to shut up the houses. People are looking for solar energy as backup. Generators are very expensive, and the people found out the first week that they ran out of gas. There was no gas, so they couldn't run the generators, so they really didn't help until things started to settle down again. But having storage of water and making sure it's clean is very important. I think most people take for granted until it's gone, it's going to say your priorities change.
Another issue to think about is a simple way to test the water to see if it is clean before we are consuming it. A lot of people, especially in the mountains, depend on the stream waters for being clean and using that. And so it's a way to educate to test it quickly. The other we looked at the leptospirosis, that was the bacterial infection, and then also animals that might have died in the streams. Lots of issues are happening, and we saw clean water. Just because it's clear doesn't mean it's safe to drink, and so that's some type of information that needs to be.
Yeah, after the hurricane, there was an enormous amount of rain, and there was the overflow of the reservoir, and there was a spillway they built, but it undercut the earth dam. And then weeks later, we had other large rainfalls that came through. This is probably the moisture coming up, being pulled up by the hurricane. 3 or 4 days later, about a week later, we were getting 2 or 3 inches in an hour. And,
Wow.
It overflowed again. So they had to, they're basically pumping the water out so it wouldn't relieve the pressure. So the water quality was, whatever was coming through the pipes, was definitely changing from time to time depending on how heavy the rainfall was. And what this Rapid said, in the mountainous area, the wind damage, but the main thing was mudslides. So it was very steep terrain, and all the roads were knocked out, and any kind of infrastructure along the water pipes, electric, that was all gone. It was fixed. It's a lot harder to get that fixed along the coastal regions. And these are things that, you know, they're figuring out and that they weren't quite prepared for when they came in to help repair everything. So, I had one thing I'd like to ask the Puerto Ricos about their charcoal. How did you find out about the charcoal? How did you do it?
Well, we did basic research, and we were actually one of the teachers here. They use charcoal for their own. He's a teacher here, and he uses it for his own filter. And what charcoal does is it takes away the bad odor and the bad color. So it gives it a, and also the pores, like within the charcoal, there's little pores that are the same diameter as many contaminants that pass through the water. So that is like proven to filter contaminated water. So that's how we implemented it within our filter.
And Mr. Cologne makes his own charcoal out of
Coconut.
the nut, the actual shell, the nut, not the husk. Dry it, burn it, and then make the charcoal with that, and that's what he uses when they were using here. So that's another a natural resource that we have lots of on the island. We have to irrigate. There are a lot of coconuts on the ground, along the trees. So.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah, it's very cool. But yeah, just thank you so much for the research you did to help us understand just what's happening in Puerto Rico. We can see things on the news, we hear about all that, but it's the local environment that that you guys are measuring that's so important to understand what's happening in the big picture. So, does anybody else have any questions on the webinar? I'll pause for a second if anybody needs to unmute or type into the chat box. All right, so it looks like that is it for the webinar, but thanks again so much for your presentations. And please note again that this will go live probably later today on the Globe website. I have to, once recording stops, then I'll get a message from the cloud saying that the webinar recording is ready, and I'll put it up on the Globe website. And then I'll shoot an email out to everybody to let them know that it's up there and anybody can view it. So thank you so much for giving us a glimpse into something that the devastation that most of us can't imagine who are on here. I can't speak for everybody, but I can't. And then how you're trying to help understand how to put Puerto Rico back to the way it was by understanding what happened and what needs to be done, bringing it back prior to Hurricane Maria. I know it's going to take a lot of time, but the measurements that you're taking really help out, health-wise, scientifically, environmentally. So thank you so much. So if there's nobody else, I'm going to stop the recording right now.
Gracias.